Welcome to DarkFrame Stories, where the past hides its secrets and the shadows remember. The year was 1825, and in the heart of Rajasthan, India, a village thrived quietly under the blazing sun. Kuldhara was small, its sandy streets lined with sandstone homes, its wells full, and its people content. Life was simple but prosperous, and outsiders rarely visited, for the villagers were fiercely private, protective of their traditions. Yet beneath the calm surface, tension simmered. The villagers had long lived under the shadow of a powerful local ruler, the Diwan of Jaisalmer. He was a man notorious for his greed and his lust. Legend says he coveted the women of Kuldhara, seeking to take a bride from among the village girls, regardless of the family's wishes. The villagers, led by their elders, whispered of revolt, but they knew that a direct confrontation with the Diwan would be disastrous. And so they devised a plan to escape entirely. One moonless night, without warning, every family vanished. The homes were left untouched, doors open, hearths still warm, livestock wandering free. Not a single person remained. The streets were silent, the air thick with an unnatural stillness, as if the village itself had held its breath and waited for the horror to pass. When the Diwan arrived, furious at their disappearance, he found nothing. Not a footprint, not a clue. Just the abandoned village, standing empty under the starlight. And so the legend was born. Kuldhara was cursed. Any who tried to inhabit it would face misfortune, ruin, or worse. Travelers who came decades later spoke of eerie sounds at night, whispers carried by the wind, fleeting shadows that darted past abandoned walls, and a feeling of being watched. Some claimed the villagers hadn't truly left, that they still roamed the sands, protecting their secrets, guarding their homes from the greed of outsiders. For centuries, Kuldhara remained uninhabited. Attempts to settle it were abandoned after crops failed mysteriously, water wells dried overnight, and livestock vanished without explanation. Even today, it stands as a ghost village, its crumbling walls and empty streets a testament to a mystery that refuses to die. The Diwan of Jaisalmer was furious. He sent his men to search the desert, hoping to uncover the villagers, punish them, or drag them back to serve his whims. But the desert was vast, the night cold, and the villagers gone. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. Local legends say that the villagers used secret tunnels and hidden paths known only to them. Some whisper that they made pacts with forces beyond human understanding, dark powers that protected them from the Diwan's reach. By sunrise, the search parties returned empty-handed, reporting strange occurrences along the way, footprints that led nowhere, desert winds that carried whispers, and a feeling of eyes watching from the dunes. The Diwan's anger only grew, and he attempted to occupy the abandoned village himself. But he never stayed more than a single night. Traders and travelers in the following weeks told chilling tales. Men who had entered Kuldhara to rebuild or claim its lands reported strange shadows moving across the streets, doors slamming by themselves, and an overwhelming sense of being unwelcome. Stories of curses began to spread. They spoke of invisible guardians, spirits of villagers who had died defending their freedom, whose anger would befall anyone attempting to settle the land. Crops would wither overnight, wells would dry, and travelers would fall ill or disappear altogether. Kuldhara became synonymous with misfortune, a warning carried on the desert winds. Over time, scholars and historians tried to explain the mystery logically. Some argued the villagers had migrated to safer lands due to water scarcity, oppressive taxes, or threats of violence. Others suggested the stories were exaggerated, a cautionary tale about greed and tyranny. But the locals, even centuries later, maintained that Kuldhara was cursed, a village haunted not by ghosts alone, but by the memory of injustice and betrayal. And then there were the reports from those few brave or foolish souls who ventured near the ruins at night. They spoke of faint lantern lights flickering in abandoned houses, of laughter carried across empty streets, and whispers in languages no one alive could understand. Some swore they had seen silhouettes moving through the crumbling doorways, vanishing the instant anyone tried to approach. Kuldhara had become more than a ghost village. It was a story, a warning, a legacy. And for those who dared linger too long, it remained very real. As decades passed, Kuldhara remained untouched by permanent settlement, but curiosity drew a few explorers and travelers. One evening, a group of historians and thrill-seekers arrived, eager to document the ruins. They set up camp near the central square, their lanterns casting long shadows across the cracked stone streets. At first, all was quiet, but as the desert night deepened, strange sounds began to emerge. Footsteps echoed along the empty alleys. Faint whispers drifted with the wind, and the temperature dropped unnaturally, chilling the explorers to the bone. One of them, a young researcher named Thomas, ventured alone toward a row of houses at the far edge of the village. He felt a presence, as if invisible eyes were following him. The sand under his feet shifted, though no one else was near. Then he saw it, a faint flickering light moving behind a broken wall. He froze. The light darted from window to window, never lingering long enough to reveal its source. Thomas called out, but only the wind answered. Heart pounding, he moved closer, and a sudden gust extinguished his lantern. In the darkness, he felt something brush past him, cold, fleeting, and impossibly fast. Panicked, he ran back to camp, but the others were no longer there. Whispers called his name, soft and coaxing, coming from every direction at once. Thomas ran blindly through the ruins until he collapsed near the old well in the village center. When dawn finally broke, he was found by local villagers, disoriented, shaking, and unable to explain what had happened. He never returned to Kuldhara, neither did any of the others. Their journals, left behind in haste, were filled with accounts of shadows, inexplicable movements, and a sense that the village itself was alive, watching and judging. To this day, Kuldhara stands empty. The walls crumble, sand fills the streets, and the wind carries the echoes of a people who vanished without a trace centuries ago. Some say the curse endures, protecting the village from those who would seek to exploit it. Others claim it is the memory of injustice, anger, and defiance that lingers in the ruins. Whether it is supernatural or merely the weight of history, Kuldhara reminds us that some mysteries are not meant to be solved. And sometimes the past does not forgive those who intrude upon it. Thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. Hit the bell icon to never miss a story. Remember, some mysteries are best left untouched.